Hello everybody, Ayan here, and today I'm going to show you how I made this trap metal beat in my album called A Disease Called Despair. First off, we started off with the melodies, and I made this melody with a bell. You could use a plug sound, you could use whatever you want. I think just something short and a little bit sharp works here, and add a lot of reverb on it, obviously. So what I did here is that I started off with a root note and then went up and went down again and repeated that, and then did some variation at the last two bars. So next thing, sorry if this is going to disappoint you, but I use samples for my guitars because I can't play guitar. I don't have a guitar. I can't play the guitar on a VST because it would sound too unrealistic. And I'm pretty sure some people know how to do that in VSTs and stuff like that, but I'm not that experienced with guitar VSTs, and I don't know how to make melodies with them. So I use samples. What I advise in samples, you could look for in Loopman, Splice, sample packs on YouTube, and other, I'm pretty sure there are other websites I don't know about, but yeah. What advice here also is that guitar should, if you're gonna use like two samples like I did here, you should have like the same artist with the same type of guitar, so it transitions well between both of them. Sadly, there is a click between every sample. I'm pretty sure there is a way to not make it like that, but in the whole mix it didn't really stick out, so I left it as is. And I'm pretty sure you can find samples that doesn't have that in them. And the second guitar, what I did is that there was like this gent thing where it's just like stuff like that, where I just cut it up and made it like that. So let's talk about drums. I used real drums here. You could use a VST, you could use drums from basically everywhere, samples, whatever. What I did is that I think my advice to you is listen to metal or rock and roll or whatever, and just try to pick the simplest pattern they have in them, and just like maybe try to do your own. And this what I came up with. Pretty easy stuff. For the trap part of the beat, I used the actual trap drums, and it's pretty simple. I don't think it needs much explaining, but I will give you advice on the 808, especially in that type of beat. Use really strong 808, like very deep, very distorted, very high endy, something that sounds like this. I got this from the Venom kit. It's a producer's kit. This 808 is really damn good. Try to stay away from the sub-bassy 808, normal kind of 808, the short 808s. This one works best. You could also try to experiment, maybe something would work with you. Okay, the arrangement. So first of all, I started with the bell melody and a little bit of 808 with a filter on it to filter out the high end, and then I added the guitars to be like a transition. The volume is low. It's have this sort of radio effect on it to give introduction to the chorus, and I think it sounds really, really nice. Okay, what we have here, down here, is a fill. You can make your own, you could use a sample. I use the sample. I think it sounds really, really nice, transitioning from the intro to the chorus. So the chorus here, I used trap hi-hats with the actual like real live drums to give more substance to the drums. Just doesn't sound the same without it. Okay, this here is a scream. I found like you could use like any vocal sample here, because what I did is I chopped it up and made this glitchy sound. And I added like a shaper box, which it has like a vinyl down thing. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it sounds like this. Then you have the verse. This is what I did here is like I delayed the drums a bit, and I introduced some of them here, and then the other later on to just give like a fake out. Here I introduced the guitar, the chunky guitar, before the next part of the verse to tell the listener, hey, there's something coming. And I used the real drums with it, but with some variations that I removed the samples that I had, the samples and the ride that I had with them. Then you have the second chorus with this effect on. You could use Ghost Beat for this effect too. You don't have to use Shaper Box, but it does. What Shaper Box is doing here is like a glitchy effect where it just repeats a part of the beat over and over and over again. The second verse, and it's just the same old stuff. I introduced the drums and then delayed the 808s and the kick. What happened here though is that I extended the verse to have the entire sample playing, and I think it sounds cool. And then the ending part. What I did here in the end is that I added Portal, which gives this weird effect. Portal is always weird with its effects, and I absolutely love it. I always use it to end. I don't always use it, but I usually use it to end beats or add some variation during the arrangement process. The arrangement's always the fun part for me, because I could just play around and see what works and what doesn't. But yeah, this is how I made the entire beat. And last thing I want to talk about is a little bit of advice, in that you should probably, when you're starting a new project, is to just dump everything at the beginning. Basically everything in your brain, your inspiration, your thinking, whatever you think and whatever ideas you have in your head, is just to dump it in the project. Because what happened with this beat is that I worked on it for 1 or 2 weeks, and it had so much ideas in them, and it was just a mess. It was a mess, and by the end of it I realized that, so I had to start all over again. When I started all over again, I finished the beat in 2 hours. Yeah, like this entire beat has been redone and it has been remade in 2 hours. So that's my advice for you. Just try to dump the entire your entire ideas into the project whenever you start a new project, and try to finish the project, especially if it's a beat, in maybe the first session that you're gonna do. That's for that. And for beats mostly, because it's hard to do that with actual songs. But advice also for actual songs is like the first session is like the most important session, because it gives you the base idea of what you're gonna do, and when you come back you'll be like, oh, let's maybe add a little bit more to it, because you already have the base, everything goes well. That's my advice for you, and I hope you learned something today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys later.